you're gonna go click on my page and go just see me smiling and happy.
Before Angus Cloud would become the breakout star on TV's smash hit Euphoria. Before Angus Cloud would have 1.5 million followers on Twitter, 4.1 million followers on TikTok, and 7 million followers on Instagram at the time of this recording. Before Angus Cloud would land roles in music videos for Juice WRLD, Noah Cyrus, Becky G, and Carol G, while also landing roles in films including North Hollywood, The Line, and had 3 other projects lined up. Angus Cloud literally had the world at his feet. Now overnight, he became the underground breakout star from Euphoria, and his relatability, likability, well, it landed him some unexpected endorsements. We're talking brands like Rockstar Energy and Ralph Lauren. But despite all the fame and fortune, well, Angus, he was dealing with some serious demons, mainly depression and addiction. Now his family, they've stated that following a funeral he had attended back in Ireland, where his father had passed away, well, this left Angus overcome with grief about the loss of his best friend. Now his family, they had placed a 911 call regarding the overdose that took place at his family home in Oakland, California. Angus was only 25 years old. As we do here, we like to document the come-up stories of Hollywood's new and brightest stars, and Angus being one of the biggest in recent years. Now I can imagine Angus, he likely watched his Before They Were Famous video we made on him, and this is a tragic news story. People are really upset about this loss. Now here we try our best to detail his come-up story and pay our respect. So here we go with Angus Cloud, gone but not forgotten. Conor Angus Cloud Hickey was born on July 10th, 1998. Now there is some speculation that he might have been born in 1994, but his age was then lowered by Hollywood management, but that's really not important right now. Now Angus, he was born and raised in the city of Oakland, California, but most of his family come from Ireland. That includes his father, Conor Hickey, who once upon a time was a rugby star before becoming a university professor. Now his mother, Lisa Cloud Mclaughlin, she also worked in academia in the Oakland area. Now Angus, he grew up the oldest sibling in a family that included 2 younger twin sisters. Now likely due to his mother's occupation, well, Angus, he attended the prestigious Oakland School of the Arts at around the same time as his future co-star Zendaya, but the two, they were never in the same orbit as one another. Now if he was born in 1998, that would have made him 2 years younger than Zendaya, but if he was born in 1994, he would have been 2 years her senior. I'm not sure what it is, but you know what it is, like when you're in school, you rarely cross paths with people not really in your age bracket, I'm guessing. Now Angus had no plans on becoming a Hollywood star. Instead, he chose to develop his skills working behind the scenes. He would build sets and light the stage that the other actors like Zendaya would then utilize. Now over on Instagram, well, Angus has some throwback photos from his time in high school when he got himself hospitalized. Now the caption, it reads, "When I broke my skull and they had Miss California in the Children's Hospital for some reason, and my patna said I was so loaded that I said Miss California 2012, it's 2013, you ain't Miss California no more. Ha ha ha. Hey, shout out Oakland Children's Hospital. Really saved my life. For real, for real." Now, Angus worked part-time as a clerk at an Oakland Whole Foods for years. And speaking with Paper Magazine about his past, he mentioned, "I used to love giving out free samples to everybody. I would make sandwiches for people, and then I'd make sandwiches for the kitchen." Now, after graduating high school, however, well, Angus, he began itching for a change of scenery. Now, without any real plans to speak of, well, Angus, he would quit his job at Whole Foods, and he would buy himself a one-way ticket to visit friends in New York City. He never bothered with a return flight home, and Angus, he would arrive in the Big Apple, where his life would take an unexpected and fortuitous turn. Now, shortly after somewhat absent-mindedly moving to New York City, well, Angus found himself working in a chicken and waffle joint while living in the neighborhood of Bushwick. Now, at the time, pursuing a career in the entertainment industry, it was an absolute, no-go. He didn't even think about it. In fact, thanks to some Irish heritage, you know, his father, well, Angus was seriously considering abandoning New York City and heading to Ireland to visit family so he could find a career for himself out there. In fact, he told High Snobriety, "I didn't have aspirations for much at all, to be honest. I was just trying to go with the flow and do whatever I felt would make me happy at the time." Now, one day while walking down the street in Manhattan, well, Angus was approached by a casting agent. Now, she was in the process of booking actors on a new HBO series titled Euphoria, and she thought Angus had the look she was searching for. Now, at first, Angus, he was convinced he was being scammed, but before he knew it, his days of frying chicken and flipping waffles, well, they'd be over for good. Now, given a plane ticket to Los Angeles, well, Angus, he soon found himself flying back to the West Coast to audition. Now, at the time, well, Angus, he wasn't worried about cramming in any acting lessons or stressing himself out. After all, he understood that the casting agent had seen something in him and believed if he simply acted like himself, well, that would probably be enough. And he was right, because Angus, he nailed that audition. In fact, he proved to be so skilled in the role of easy-to-root for drug dealer named Fezco that series creator Sam Levinson abandoned his original plans to kill off the character in season 1. Now, soon after wrapping the first season, Will Angus moved to LA and immersed himself much more deeply in Hollywood. He also signed with the right people. I'm talking contracts, endorsement deals, invites to swanky events. All of it was coming his way. Now, by the time the second season of Euphoria would begin shooting, Will Angus's role would expand greatly, and Fez would become somewhat of an anchor for the series. Now, a whole bunch of Euphoria fans, they always seem to be asking one question: is Angus Cloud basically just playing a version of himself? Well, according to Angus, the answer is no. Speaking with Glamour, he told them, "It's a whole different character, we just talk the same." Now, of course, Euphoria was greenlit for a third season, and without giving too much away in terms of what happened at the end of season 2, well, Angus, he was set to reprise his role. But with the Hollywood strike and the show being delayed, well, fans are gonna have to wait till about 2025 at the earliest to see the show back on the air. And now, sadly, well, Angus won't be there. Now, there were other opportunities for Angus as he had wrapped up principal photography on the coming-of-age thriller titled The Line, and there he co-starred Alex Wolff and Halle Bailey. And if you're interested to check that out, you're definitely gonna see him with a different look. Now, as mentioned in the intro, he landed roles in music videos for Juice WRLD, Noah Cyrus, Becky G, and Karol G. He also had films including North Hollywood alongside Vince Vaughn, and other projects lined up as well. Now, despite all his success, well, Angus, he was pretty vocal about his battles with anxiety and depression. Now, Euphoria show creator Sam Levinson, he stated to NBC News, "There was no one quite like Angus. He was too special, too talented, and way too young to leave us so soon. He also struggled like many of us with addiction and depression. I hope he knew how many hearts he touched. I loved him. I always will. Rest in peace. God bless his family." Now, Angus was pretty transparent, and he would even open up about this in interviews. According to his family, well, it was the recent passing of his father which left him extremely unwell mentally. Now, his parents spoke about his passing, where they stated, "It's with the heaviest heart that we had to say goodbye to an incredible human today. As an artist, a friend, a brother, and a son, Angus was special to all of us in so many ways." They continued, "Last week he buried his father and intensely struggled with the loss. The only comfort we have is knowing Angus is now reunited with his dad, who was his best friend. Angus was open about his battle with mental health, and we hope that his passing can be a reminder to others that they are not alone and should not fight this on their own in silence." Now, there has been no reveal on what substance Angus was using to cope with his issues, but we do know that he passed away from an OD. Now, the call that was placed to 911 was released by TMZ, where you can hear his concerned family pleading for help. Now, our prayers, they go out to his family, his friends, his loved ones. This has been a gone but not forgotten I just never expected I would make. Crazy. All right.